Good day. Happy Saturday from the Alps of Italy. Snowed again last night. Definitely the gods are not shortchanging us when it comes to an abundance of snow. So life is good. Life is very good. We're talking about today, going to talk about generosity, what it means. So important. So, why are we so inclined not to be generous with ourselves when we're always finding ways of splurging on others, like the women that come into our lives? How much money have we wasted on people that we could have spent even more wisely on ourselves? That's one of the real kicks in the nuts that we get during life, and sometimes it can be hard to really get over that. I know in my last relationship, how many thousands did I leave on the table that I could have used more productively, more effectively? But I was willing to be more generous to someone else than I was to myself. And how does that transmit itself? Well, that's a good point. Because when it comes to spending money on ourselves, we're always so cagey. We're always so cautious. But when a woman says something, oh man, out comes the wallet, out comes the card, out comes the cash. Adios. Ciao. But when it comes to like the things that are going to improve us, coaching, for instance, how reluctant are we to spend money and invest in ourselves? You know, it might be as simple as a golf coach. A friend of mine has just gone down to Florida for the second time this winter and has done 3, 4, 5 day intensive with a golf coach. It's cost him probably 8 or 9 thousand both trips, and he's very happy to pay that because it's improved his game directly. He can see the results. But when it comes to really investing in our own future, not just a golf game or a ski game or any of these things, it's about taking time to reflect as a man in your 40s and 50s on what it is exactly that you want from this life, because one of these days you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to decide what you want, and why not make that time right now? Why not actually take out the same kind of money that you flutter away on a woman, partner? Why not take that money, double it, and invest it in yourself? It's a shocking thought, really, isn't it? How do we justify wasting money on others when actually we don't want to invest in ourselves? What is that paradox? What is it that makes us so cautious about the potential, the probability, the guarantee that you're going to be a much better person in 90 days, 52 weeks, whatever. When you invest that money and it's guaranteed versus splurging, fluttering, wasting hard-earned money on a woman that's just going to keep it and move on when she's ready, when she finds someone better, when she sees that she's not going to get anything more out of you, or that you really have had enough. So how can we overcome that cautiousness when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to investing in ourselves? Well, I suppose it really boils down to one thing: what you want by investing in yourself, or taking a chance on someone else. Guarantee versus a gamble. That's what it boils down to. Because if you do put in the work, you're guaranteed to see the results, whether that be like my friend in his golf game, or having a better awareness of what it is that you really want, examining your life, reflecting, taking a moment. It's not going to kill you, man. Take a deeper look. It's like touching an electric fence, going into your own head. What's that about? Why are we so afraid of what we want rather than fluttering away our generosity on someone that's not guaranteed at all? We have no control over the outcome that they're going to have. Whereas we have all the control in the world in controlling how we make a return on the investment in ourselves. So we got to stop shortchanging ourselves as men in our 40s and 50s and even younger, to be honest, and think about like where $5,000 or $10,000 or $500,000 invested in yourself, what are the limits on the return of that investment? If you do the work, there's no limits. There really isn't. It's up to you. It really is up to you. So stop being Scrooge on yourself. Think about what you want. Think about what it would mean to have that, the value of living the life that you've always wanted. It could be a very simple thing. It could be like as small as a chalet on a beach on the southwest coast of Ireland, or a chalet in the Italian Alps. That's your dream. But it's not going to happen unless you decide it's going to happen. And the only way you decide it's going to happen is by taking a chance, committing to yourself, investing in yourself, and getting over that whole notion that when it comes to us, what about it? We treat ourselves so cheaply. It's like flying everywhere on Ryanair all over Europe. Got to treat yourself right. Got to believe in yourself. You got to invest in yourself. Got to get over that shortchanging characteristic that we all tend to believe that, someone is trying to sell us something, always trying to sell us something, and we should be on the defensive, not realizing that some of this stuff is so valuable if we'd only just consider it at the top of our priorities, not delegating ourselves to fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, or ninth on the list. Those days are over. We've got to treat ourselves number one. No one is as important as us, ourselves. That's why we should really consider why we don't invest more in ourselves. Why we don't invest more in ourselves. That should be a crime. We'd all be guilty. Well, probably 95% of us. So what's stopping you? What is actually stopping you from taking that money and putting it into yourself? Because it's not your money until you spend it. But is there anything out there that would deliver greater value than being one step, two steps closer to living your dream life, to being fully energized again, reinvigorated, totally connected, happy, content, fulfilled, with a real meaning, real direction, real focus? Is there anything out there that's more valuable than that? Got to ask yourself that. Where is your greatest return on investment? Where's the only place that you can control the return on an investment? That's right. In yourself. Put the money into yourself. Take someone who's been doing this work for 5, 10 years. Apply all that wisdom and knowledge, insight, intuition into 90 days or 52 weeks, whatever it takes, and see how your growth will compound exponentially. Exponentially. By taking a chance on yourself, not putting yourself down the list anymore. I was working with a guy there recently. I let him get on a payment plan, and after the first month, he cancelled. He paid the first month, he cancelled the second month, and cited costs of divorce, lawyer, all the stuff that was going on with his divorce, his division of property, all that stuff, and he put himself way down the ladder. Fifth, or I don't know, was he sixth or seventh on his list? He was way down. Delegated himself. Relegated himself. Now, how is that going to improve his own sense of value? It's quite obvious that he's not in the top 5 of his own. He's not even in the top 5 in his own list of value. So, what does that say? Sometimes it's good to put other people first, your wife, your kids, whatever, your business. That's okay. But it doesn't have to go on forever, and there comes a point when you have to put that into yourself. Invest in yourself and stop short-changing yourselves. Long change yourself for a change. Put the money in, man. What's in that guy's case? What is $3,000 or $6,000 going to make difference? Is it going to make to his situation financially? Whereas if he had looked at it from the sense of self, the value. Like he would already be stepping into a divorce in the right frame of mind. But he's accepted his level of victimhood. He's going to be crying in his soup for a good few months to come. And he's knocked back his own sense of value again. Shortchanged himself even further. Relegated himself. I mean, look, I think he's probably still in his own top 10, but the psychological hit on his sense of worth, his self-esteem, when it's pretty low, going through a divorce anyway. Why would you like invite Mike Tyson to hit you while you're on your knees? Doesn't make any sense. That was exactly the time when he should have invested in himself. That was the perfect timing in his life. But he'd already made the decision. So what can you do? What can you do? But I know his breakup is not going to be any better for that lack of belief in himself. He has compounded his own sense of belief in himself. So you have to understand that shortchanging yourself is okay every now and then. Okay, sometimes you have to be very careful about a decision you make when it comes to money, but we're never as careful with the money we spend on ourselves as the money where you're splurging on a woman. So we really have to flip that dynamic and be careful about the money we spend on others, while we are very strategic in how we spend money on ourselves, because we want to get better. Yeah, we're just talking about how we're very careful about the money we spend on ourselves. To you guys that are just joining, and how cautious we are when it comes to taking coaching, for example, mentoring, employing someone to share their wisdom of 5, 10, 20 years, so that you can learn better ways of valuing yourself, and truly learn to value yourself, your own worth, your sense of self-esteem. And that means investing in ourselves, because we can control the investment by the input, the work that we do. When we invest in ourselves, we are actually committing to ourselves. Now, it takes a deep sense of reflection to get to the point that we are willing to invest in ourselves easily, always. But when it comes to women, man, we're like Vegas blackjack dealers. Just cash here, cards there, money all over the place. Yeah, I'll get that. No problem. We might see no return on that investment. None. But if we invest in ourselves, we're guaranteed a return. We're guaranteed a control. And we put the work in. We improve, we increase, we exponentially compound our own value, our own sense of worth. or belief. That is the name of the game. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. Don't be shy when it comes to, investing in yourself. Because when you invest in yourself, you invest in your friends, you invest in your relationships, you invest in your business, and everything becomes a whole lot easier when you put in a bit of effort over a short period of time. You're gonna see results when you go to a golf coach pretty fast, and that's exactly what coaching men in their 40s and 50s. That's what I bring to these guys. Straight away, they see a small win and they're off to the races. They believe. None of this waiting around. We get working straight away. We get them back on track. And back on track into the game, totally believing in yourself. Don't relegate yourself. Don't delegate yourself. Be a pass number one. Those days are over. You've got to be top dog, number one. Get yourself straight. Re-energize yourself. Revitalize yourself. Before you know it, within a matter of moments, the investment in yourself will be paying off. So, I'm going to leave you with that. If you want to book an Energizer call, click the link in my bio, and let's get chatting. There's work to be done, and there's fun to be had. Let's go play. Let's get on it.